We're not doing a live stream, are we?
No, just the recording. Yeah, we're good now.
Okay. I will call the meeting to order at 10 o'clock a.m. This Hastings Hydro Reserve Advisory Committee is being held by electronic participation pursuant to the municipality's procedural bylaw number 2021-040 and section 238 3.1 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended. The video recording will be uploaded to the Municipality of Trent Hills website following the meeting. Can we get an approval of the agenda for today's meeting?
I'll approve it.
Marg, second.
I'll second.
Chris, Karen, can you call the vote, please?
Margaret?
Who?
Margaret?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Stephen?
Yes.
Christopher?
Yes.
That's carried by 3.
Okay. Disclosure of interest. Is there any disclosure of interest for this meeting? Seeing none, hearing none.
No.
Next. Approval of the minutes of the December 9th committee meeting. It's recommended that the minutes of the Hastings Hydro Reserve Advisory Committee meeting held on December 9th, 2020 be received and approved as presented and amended. We get a mover and a seconder on that.
I'll move it.
Stephen moves.
I'll second.
Chris second. Call the vote, please.
Stephen?
Yes.
Christopher?
Yes.
Margaret?
Yes.
That's carried by 3.
Thank you. On to agenda item 5, business. The agenda item is a bylaw number 2021-040. It's the bylaw of governing the proceedings of council and advisory bodies. I'm sure that everyone has looked through that, the updated bylaw, and is familiar with all of our governance of our meetings. It is recommended that the bylaw number 2021-04, a bylaw of the govern the proceedings of council and advisory bodies of council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Trent Hills, be received. We get a mover and a seconder to receive that item.
I'll move.
Moved by Chris,
Seconded.
seconded by Marg. Is there any discussions or questions regarding any of the governance bylaws? Seeing none, can we call the vote on that item, please?
Christopher?
Yes.
Margaret?
Yes.
Stephen?
Yes.
That's carried by 3.
Thank you. On to our financial statement. It is recommended that the financial statement for the period ending December 31st, 2020 be received as information. We get a mover and a seconder on that report.
Yes. I will.
Moved by Marg,
I'll second that.
second by Steve. Any discussion on our financial statement? I did note, and I'm sure everyone saw, so the HISA investment interest that we received, it's interesting, the dates of last year from January to February, we're receiving 2.415%. And as soon as March hit, it dropped to 1.7, and April through December went down to 0.915. So throughout the year, we lost 1.5% interest, which is significant, but was like that across the board with anyone who had investing. So it was interesting to see that it went through that account too. But nonetheless, we were able to see a gain of 8,265.42 through the year. So we were able to at least get some back. No more discussion on that one. Can we call the vote, please, Karen?
Margaret,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Christopher,
Yes.
that's carried by 3.
Thank you. On to agenda item 5C, our funding application that we'll be looking at this morning. I will read what our options are, and then we'll open for some discussion on the application. Excuse me. It's recommended that the funding application number 202101 Hastings Public School be received. Either and the Hastings Hydro Reserve Advisory Committee recommends to council that the one-time funding request for the purchase and installation of a rear projection screen and projector for the gymnasium at the Hastings Public School be respectfully declined, and that the Hastings Hydro Reserve Advisory Committee recommends to council that the one-time funding request for the purchase and installation of the rear projection screen and projector for the gymnasium at the Hastings Public School be approved in the amount of, we will figure out as we discuss, and funded from the Hastings Hydro Reserve Fund. Those are our two options. I think what I'll do is open it up for some discussion before we call for what we decide on our motion to be. So the floor is open. If you want, I'll take a quick summary. So it's a Hastings public school to provide quality education and equitable opportunities for our school community is the mandate under the application. And like I said earlier, it's the purchase and installation of a rear projection screen and projector in the gymnasium. The total cost of the project quoted is $7,888.53. Of which $4,988.53 funding is from other sources. So the request today is for $2,900. And just quickly, in the letter received from the public school regarding the funding, the project will allow us to provide enhanced opportunities for students, staff, school council, families, and the community. And they've listed several points under each of the opportunities for those groups of peoples. Any thoughts?
It meets all the criteria for funding, I assume. It is not for profit. It's open to the public at some points. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's met all of the eligibility requirements for the application. Karen, I am correct?
Yes, you are correct. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If you look at the first page of the application, the eligibility criteria, it does meet the requirements.
And we have funded them in the past, about 10 years ago or more.
Yeah.
Like,
That was
and
the playground structure.
playground equipment, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that they have partnerships with others.
I fully support it.
So Steve's gonna move that we support the application.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
And Marg will second support for the application. Any more discussion? No from Chris, Marg, and Steve have probably said all they need to say. All right.
Right.
The motion on the floor is to accept the application. And the only blank I need to fill in is we're going to do for the full amount, Steve?
Yeah, full amount that's requested.
All right, 2,900.
Yep.
All right, we can call the vote.
Okay, Stephen,
Yes.
Christopher,
Yes.
and Margaret.
Yes.
That's carried by 3.
The next item on the agenda is adjournment.
Well, you're very efficient.
This time.
I think I think it's a wonderful thing, and the school is so involved in the community, and I've had number of discussions with the principal and been involved in some of the graduation ceremonies and stuff, and I think they have a good parent council, and I think it's equipment that will be well used and well used for all the community, not just the school itself, but for other areas. So I think you've done a great job.
Good.
Perfect. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Moved by Chris, second by,
I'll second it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll second that.
by Steve.
Where's Rick English when you need him, Mike?
Would call the vote, please, Karen?
Christopher,
Yes.
Margaret,
Yes.
Stephen.
Yes.
That's carried by 3. That the meeting adjourned at 10:11 a.m.
Look at that, 11 minutes.
Nice to see everybody. Talk to you soon.
See you, Bob.
See you, Bob.
Bye-